So when flying on a simulator, first remove your brakes and then increase the throttle. You can check over here. And then remove your brakes. You can control the aircraft with this on the screen, rectangle. And then if you want to take off, put the mouse down. And if you want to go down, put the mouse up like this.
This lesson we measured the true airspeed and the takeoff distance on Earth using different loads. For the first load we used 298, for the second one we used 600 load, and then for the third one we used 900. And for each of these loads we did 3 trials to get the average takeoff distance. We also did the takeoff distance on Moon, which we found out that the takeoff distance was less than the takeoff distance on Earth. So the takeoff distance on the Moon decreased while the takeoff speed increased on Earth. And we used the same load as the one on Earth. So yeah. As the aircraft goes up, we can see that the lift vectors are decreasing, and when the aircraft goes down, the lift vectors are increasing. The lift vectors are the lines on the plane. So if the plane is going up, they decrease, and if the plane is going down, they decrease. And then for this one, the landing gear is on, so that means the plane will decrease its airspeed and it's kind of preparing to land. So here the plane is kind of going down because the landing gear is on. And then for this one, the flaps, there's small things that kind of attach to the wings of the plane. If they're pointing downwards, the plane goes up, and if the flaps are pointing upwards, the plane goes down. They do the opposite to the plane. So if they're down, the plane goes up, and if they're up, the plane goes down. They can help land the plane as well. So for this lesson, the main goal was to land the aircraft. So first of all, I was just trying to land the aircraft on a normal airport, and I tried different situations to land the aircraft. The second one I tried was landing the aircraft with the flaps down, so the flaps were facing down. So it was kind of difficult because if you put the flaps down, the aircraft goes up, so you had to control the aircraft to go down while the flaps are down as well. And I landed it, I think, quite well. Then the next one, I was landing the aircraft while it was nighttime. That was okay, I think. It was kind of hard to see where you're going, but there's lights, so it was okay. I landed it okay, I think. then the last one I did was landing the aircraft on an airport carrier. That was kind of hard. So overall, the point of the lesson was to try land the aircraft perfectly on the ground, and that was the end of the lesson. So for this experiment, we're testing the stability and center of gravity of an aircraft. So first of all, I was testing the flaps. If I pointed the cursor down, which way they would point. And for this one, I was testing the lift vectors. If I was pointing the nose of the aircraft down, which way would the lift vectors go? And then for this one, I changed the center of gravity from -17.3 to 21.1, and so how it affected the elevation deflection. So for this experiment, we're measuring the aspect ratio. So we designed the same plane 5 times with different wingspans. The first wingspan was 10, and then the second one was 20, the third one was 30, then the fourth one was 40, and then the fifth one was 50. And the mean chord was 4.8. So we got the takeoff distance from the screen, and we calculated the aspect ratio, which was the wingspan over mean chord, and then we got the average takeoff distance for that. In this lesson, we're measuring the wing loads of the airplanes. So the airplane with higher wing load means it has great flight performance and larger payloads. It also means longer runaways and high stall speeds. We used different payloads, different airplanes for these 3 different airplanes. So the first one had smaller wings and the third one had larger wings, and we saw that the one with the larger wings was taking off at a small distance at a medium runaway, and then the mid one was okay as well. So in this lesson, we will explore how increasing the horsepower of a plane will affect the aircraft's performance. In the lesson, we used 3 of the same aircrafts to see how much the horsepower affects them. So for the first one, the power loading was 16.6. Then for the second one, the power loading was 10. And then for the third one, the power loading was 7.4. We also measured the true airspeed for the 3 aircrafts. But the weight was the same, the total weight was the same for all of them, and the wingspan and the chord and the aspect ratio was the same as well. So the only thing we changed was the horsepower of the aircrafts. And to measure the true airspeed, you just go into data C, and then you take down the values for V true airspeed down at the bottom. And that's how we got the true airspeed. And then we got the average of the true airspeed. And then from the average true airspeed, we can tell how the horsepower affect the aircraft.